Hello and welcome to Miss Charlotte Astrology. I am Miss Charlotte, a full-time working astrologer, and on this channel I analyze the astrological charts of public figures, and very often they are celebrities. But today I'm going to take another look at a woman who's not necessarily famous, but she's infamous. So we could argue that she's some historical figure. Mary Kay Letourneau, who I just did an astrology chart reading on. And a lot of you came back to me and said that you really wanted to see a Synastry reading between her and her victim turned husband, Villi. And I have it up here. This is them together. Oh, I can't wait to get rid of them out of the side of my screen and just zoom in on this chart because he's a child. He's straight up a child. He's a big child, but he's a freaking child. This woman is insane. Psychotic. Anyway. This is their Synastry chart. I don't have a birth time for him. I can't plot out his chart. I can't plot out the houses, but I'm going to do the best I can without it and just have a look at the where his placements fall in her chart. Before I dive in, I just want you guys to know that in March, from March 7th to March 13th, I am holding an Egyptian retreat. We're doing this. And we're going to go to all sorts of great places. It's almost like a road trip from Cairo to Luxor. So we're going to see some famous temples, landmarks. Of course, we're going to see the pyramids of Giza and the Sphinx. We're going to go on a little cruise on the Nile. We're going to go to Hatshepsut's. I can never say her name. Shame on me. Hatshepsut. You know the temple. Was it Hatshepsut? Was that the one? We're going to her temple? That's it. I think I said it right. And then we're going to go... Oh, there was one more place. There's one more place. The Grand Egyptian Museum. And we're going to go to the markets. It's going to be so amazing. And of course, I'm going to be there to read your charts all the time. And if you'd like to hang out with me for a week in March and go on an Indiana Jones adventure, please come. I'll link it below and I'll see you there. Okay, great. Let's have a look at this Synastry chart. So Villi is in the red and Mary Kay is in the blue. So the first thing that I noticed, oh my God, this is crazy Synastry. Let's zoom in here. So Mary Kay has this Aquarius stellium. In the previous reading, go watch it. I talked about how she's a bit of a gone complex. She truly is the dark side of Aquarius. And the dark side, the shadow side of Aquarius is a Leo, a narcissistic bastard, honestly. Because Aquarius are meant to be for the people. But when they are being toxic, they turn into proper savage, egomaniacal Leo energy. Like that's what they become. The worst possible kind of Leos. And so that's all on this descendant of partnership. So she's quite needy and desirous of partnership. And then I noticed, look at this conjunction. Villi has his Lilith in Aquarius. So Lilith in a straight man's chart is the energy of the type of woman who could destroy him, swallow him whole, destroy his life. And all of her Aquarius placements sit on that Lilith. She embodies the type of woman that will destroy him. And she did. It's very interesting, isn't it? So, very, very painful. And then let's move up a little bit. So there is this Juno conjunction. And Juno represents marriage. It's an asteroid. And those have met up in Aries. So you could argue that even in their charts, they are married here. I mean, it's normally a very compatible placement. It doesn't excuse anything, by the way. If I say, by the way, in this reading, if I say that there's a compatible placement, that does not translate to me justifying her being a kitty fiddler at all. I'm just reading the Synastry. Okay? Her North Node in Leo on the ascendant, while it's in a very chaotic place, if I look at her chart by itself, it lies in the same sign as his Venus. Villi's Venus lies in Leo in a very tight conjunction with this North Node. It is through his love, through his affection, that she can be kept safe. He rescued her. He really did. He married her. He's loyal. A Venus in Leo is going to love drama, I'll be honest. This is a very extreme situation. But he felt a duty to her. I think he he looked upon her as not like, yes, a lover, but I think there was also like a bit of a motherly energy there. He has some difficult placements because I look at his south node. It's interesting that his north node in Gemini, her placements aren't there. She is part of fortune in Gemini, but still, like, other than that, there's no other placements in Gemini that would take him to his destiny. His destiny is beyond her. He was her destiny, but she was not necessarily endgame for him. He's still going to keep going and live a life beyond her. But yeah, his south node, it doesn't look very stable. So where he was when she met him, when he was just a little boy, a 12, 13-year-old boy, it looks very likely that he wasn't in the most stable situation, because his south node is lying in the same sign as like these very unstable planets. Neptune is no boundaries. Uranus is chaos, and Sagittarius is the sign of the foreigner, and I believe that he's Samoan, so his family come from a far off place. So there is just a lot of movement. There's no stability for him to just stand still and rest his feet. You know, like there's nothing stable here in the very early part of his life when she met him. But if you look, her moon is here. Her moon soothes the pain. See, the moon is the emotions, the feelings, the maternal energy. Her moon is soothing this very chaotic, malefic, unstable Sagittarius mutable hellhole. She was the still point in the storm for him. And that's probably why he was attracted to her. And it's a good thing that his north node lies in Gemini, and it is with his personal placement. So as he grows older, he's going to learn to speak for himself. He did say in go watch the Dr. Oz interview with him. It's fantastic. It's fascinating. He's so damaged, but he's so strong. He talks about how he's written diaries and he's reflecting a lot. And he wants to write a memoir. And that north node in a conjunction with Mercury does indicate someone that has to learn how to share their voice and talk to people and teach people and give instruction and give advice. And he's someone that's coming into that energy. I think once I don't think he'll ever fully recover from his trauma. There's always going to be a scar there, but I think he can use his trauma to help others. Indeed, he has his Chiron in the same sign as these personal placements. Chiron in Gemini, a wound of communication, with all these other Gemini placements. So he's going to learn how to share his voice. He's going to learn how to stand up for himself. As he gets older, he's going to be able to reflect. As he's more and more removed from her, he can process this, and he's going to be very successful at it. We have not heard the last of this man. He's going to do something. He's going to do something great with his life. I'm happy for him. And her part of fortune sits on there, so obviously in a way she's taking him there. But this is on his own accord in the end. Like he needs to learn how to think for himself. Mercury's the mind. He needs to learn how to take action. Mars. So down here in his south node, when he met her, he was defenseless. He was in a very chaotic situation, which she, in her own weird, perverted way, she soothed the pain. And she felt very familiar to him. It's a very maternal, it's chaotic, but it's a very maternal energy that he felt. Yeah, this is just, it's crazy. And they also have their Vestas, sacred protection and alignment. Interesting. Yeah. And then if you look, let's have a look here. Her IC, it's really interesting. It's none of his personal placements. None of his placements actually lie in Scorpio. He's got no placements in Scorpio that would make her feel at home. His placements, there's nothing of him that grounds her into this fourth house, which is a very traumatic fourth house for her. I mentioned in my previous analysis that she's had a very chaotic home, and it's a place that she doesn't want to return to, and it's a place she doesn't want to talk about. I think there must have been something nefarious going on in her family, and he doesn't have any placements there that would trigger that energy, but at the same time there's no placements there that would ground her into the realities of what was her home life as a child. Nothing there. All of his placements, his personal placements are well, on her ascendant, which is the self, like her first house that's the house of herself. Like in the end, his existence was there to serve her. She wasn't there to do what's best for him. Had she been that way and been a proper selfless person, she wouldn't have fiddled with a child. But she did, because she's selfish. His Venus lies in a selfish house. In the end, he was there to nurse her when she was sick. Let's have a look at the other placements. His Gemini placements fall into her 11th house of the public. His sun is also in the 11th house, but it also plays into her 12th house of what is hidden and what is secretive and what is taboo. His moon lies in Capricorn, which is in this, it's not in an exact conjunction, but they are in the same sign. The moon is feelings, the moon is emotional processing, and her Mars, her phallus, her sexual organ, lies in the same sign as the planet that governs emotions. So the sexual stuff made him attached to her emotionally. Ugh, the whole thing is gross. Ugh, she's such an evil woman. I wish I had his birth time. It would tell me a lot more about their relationship. But yeah, I guess that's it for now. I just wanted to, just go give it a good go and see how he went with the Synastry. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Yeah. If you would like a reading, it's all linked below. Recorded readings, 1 hour Zoom readings over appointment, which are also recorded, so you get to walk away with it and keep it forever. And I am having a trip to Egypt soon, and if you're interested, please sign up before January 17th, because it's gonna happen. I'm so excited. Thank you so much, everyone, and I wish you the best. Bye.